Hey guys, what's up? I am coming on here to talk to you about our coronavirus experience and tell you what exactly is going on. So, this is the end of the month. What are we? This is February 28th. My husband got sick on about or around like the 5th of February. He was feeling a little bit fatigued, not a big deal, and then by February 12th he started to feel really bad, and then the 13th he was like kind of okay, and then at night he just like tanked. So February 13th he went to bed. I was like, you know, do you want to go to the ER? And he's like, no, I'm okay. And we got zero sleep that night. He was not able to get out of bed at all. My husband is not like the typical guy who can't handle a cold and acts like a baby. He's not that guy. So I was like, okay, this is really like not well. We ended up going to immediate care the next morning. He was up all night. He was having like a dry cough. He got up a couple times thinking he was gonna have to throw up. He was very nauseous, but really every time he tried to get sick in the trash can, it didn't happen. And he couldn't make it to the bathroom. So he was just like laying in bed, and he was having a lot of sweating. He was sweating profusely. We did end up going to the emergency room. Well, not the emergency room. We went to immediate care. We scheduled an appointment. We got in. When we went in there, he was having trouble even sitting up. I didn't think he was going to be able to even walk into the building. He had a hard time walking to the back room. He had a temperature of 102.9. When he was seen, they said, we're going to swab you for the flu. So they took a swab and they swabbed his nose, which I've never seen or heard of that ever happening ever. And then they checked his throat as well. They said they were checking for the flu and also for bronchitis and strep. The girl that was at the immediate care came up and was like, okay, are we getting urine and blood samples? And they were like really quickly like, no. They took him for x-ray. His temperature was 102.9 when we were there. He was having a hard time sitting up. He fell asleep while we were there. And we were not there for very long either. Like 40 minutes or so, 30, 40 minutes. They came back. They said that the test came back and said that he did not have the flu. He did not have strep or bronchitis. Everything looked fine. There was absolutely nothing wrong, even though his temperature was like 102.9. And like I said, he was sweating profusely. They said, there's nothing wrong, but I mean, you're here, so we'll give you medicine that will last you for 10 days. You take it twice a day for 10 days, and you should be fine. And that was it. And I thought it was very weird because when you walk into the place, the intensive care, what immediate care, when you walk in there, they have all these signs about coronavirus. And I'm just like, okay, that's weird that you guys are taking these tests, and I've never had anybody swab a nose for the flu before. You're saying that there's nothing wrong, but obviously there is, and you just sent us on our way. So the symptoms that we had and the way that everything is just kind of flowing, the way that I feel about it is that I feel that they knew that he probably had coronavirus, and they did not want to cause panic. So they're just not testing people. Or if they're testing people, if that's what that test was, if they're testing people, they're just kind of like, oh no, you're good. Good, have fun. Because how are you really going to stop it from spreading? You're not. So that's my 2 cents. The symptoms that we both have had, runny nose and lots of mucus and just coming from every part of your body that you can imagine. Coughing, dry cough, wheezing. There's like, I can feel it in my chest. It's like everything's kind of like bubbling up in my chest, and it just makes it like really hard to breathe. And then you have to try to cough it out. Then you start to get it, he's coughing now. Then you start to get into like this coughing fit, and it's really bad. And then that coughing fit makes you feel like you're going to be nauseous or throw up. Wheezing, sore throat, nausea, sweating profusely. These are all symptoms that we both had. Extremely tired, shortness of breath. We still have that today. No appetite, and then eating everything in sight but not being able to eat much. He also had the vomiting, but nothing's really there. His was kind of on a more extreme scale. He had diarrhea, a fever of 102.9 that we know of. It could have spiked up more. Headaches.
Don't forget the muscle aches.
Muscle aches. Oh, that's right. Oh my God, that is right. I completely forgot about that because it's been about, it was like around the 15th for me. The whole body was just sore and achy. Very, very achy. As if you just had like a really, really good workout and your whole body is just achy. Not able to get out of bed and dizzy. So those were the symptoms that he personally had. The vomiting, the diarrhea, the fever, headache, not able to get out of bed and dizzy. Everything else, the runny nose, the coughing, the dry cough, the wheezing, sore throat, nausea, sweating profusely, extremely tired, shortness of breath, no appetite, and muscle aches, those were something that we both experienced. I tried to write everything down so I would remember and I wouldn't forget anything. So those are the things that we've experienced. Now, I obviously don't know for certain what we had. All I know is that we went to immediate care and they did a bunch of tests. They did the x-ray test, the swab in your nose, the throat test, and we had those symptoms. He had a fever, a really high fever, and they were like, you're good, but here's this medicine, just on GP. And it's also something to note that, yes, we have insurance, we have good insurance. My husband was the patient that day, and he has got Blue Cross Blue Shield, Anthem, and he also has Medicare. That is his secondary. So basically, when you go in and they're like, okay, you have a copay, like we have no copay, like we have really good insurance. So I'm just gonna put that out there. So it's not a matter of like, well, you know, maybe you didn't have really good insurance and they just didn't want to do the test. No, no. I really honestly believe that they don't want to tell people that they actually have it or that it's out there, because personally, if you take a look, they want to be like, oh, we found one tiny case in Maryland or so. Oh, and by the way, I'm in Maryland. You know, so they're just trying to like keep everything on the down low, but I think it's definitely more. I will say this, drink lots of water, let your body rest. We were sleeping a lot. When it hit me, I was fine, and I went to go fill his prescription, and when I did, I went to the pharmacy, and the pharmacist is like, so this is for you? He's like, you look really bad if you go home. I'm like, no, actually it's for my husband. I'm the healthy one. And that night, I mean, it just hit me hard. So anyway, I feel like I'm rambling. If you guys have any questions and you want to know more, let me know. Leave me a comment. If you, I don't know, if you're having symptoms too, if you had an experience similar to this, you've gone to the doctors, the hospital, and they're like doing all these tests, and they're like, no, you're good, even though you have a fever of like 103 and you're probably gonna die. But you know, okay, I'm gonna calm down now. All right. Like, subscribe, share this video if you think that you know somebody who might want to hear what some of these symptoms are. I know that when we were trying to figure out what was going on with my husband first, I was trying to look online, and I know that even now they don't really tell you much about the coronavirus, and there's a reason for that. They're hiding things. But anyway, all right, I'm going to go. I want to get this video up hopefully before I leave for work today. And yeah, leave me a comment, let me know if you have any questions, and we'll chat later. Bye.